Welcome to the Canadian Guide to Royalton Hicaycos Resort and Spa. During this video, I'll be sharing all you need to know about this amazing resort from a Canadian perspective. We'll take a look at the accommodations, amenities, restaurants, and beach, and along the way, I'll give you some tips to ensure that your stay is problem-free. So sit back and enjoy. I visited this adults-only 5-star resort in April of 2022, and it did not disappoint. Originally a sandals resort, the Royalton is now owned by Canada's own Sunwing and is located about 2/3 of the way down the Varadero Peninsula. We'll start off with an overview of the property. This bird's eye view will give you an idea of just how large this resort is. There are essentially 3 sections at the Royalton. A large cluster of accommodation buildings for guests at the west end of the resort. Another group of accommodation buildings at the east end, primarily for Diamond Club guests. We'll talk about the Diamond Club a little later on. And right in the center of the property, you'll find a massive pool surrounded by an abundance of restaurants, bars, shops, and other amenities. In addition to the main pool, smaller pools are located at either end of the resort as well. So let's start at the beginning and talk about check-in. Check-in at the Royalton is a breeze. Your luggage is taken by staff upon your arrival from the airport and brought to your room while you're checking in at reception. You'll be given a welcome drink, maybe wine, maybe champagne, maybe a mojito, and you'll get a little welcome package that will include instructions for accessing the Wi-Fi at the resort. Now, some reviewers have stated that the Wi-Fi is spotty at best. In my experience, I found it to be much better than I expected. I had no trouble connecting almost anywhere in the resort. If you are having connection issues, I recommend that you head to the 24-hour bar located in the center of the property where the Wi-Fi signal is strongest. You have to log into the Wi-Fi each time you want to go online. This is because you're given limited Wi-Fi hours. I believe it works out to over 2 hours per day. Don't forget to log out when you're finished though, otherwise you'll be using up your allotment of time. The Wi-Fi is free, and if you need more than the included hours, you have the option of paying for more time. Each guest is given a Royalton bracelet that is programmed to unlock the door to your suite. It's terrific not having to worry about bringing a room key or card every time you leave your room. You'll also be assigned a butler. Your butler should be around and available during your stay to assist you with things like booking reservations at a la carte restaurants, handling your luggage, or anything else you may need. Let's move on to the rooms at Royalton. As I said before, the rooms are located in individual buildings to the east and west of the main hub of the resort. The rooms are all the same, regardless of whether or not you've upgraded to the Diamond Club, and none of the rooms are oceanfront. Most of the buildings are 3 stories high and there are no elevators. Also, if you're assigned a room that's at the far east or west end of the resort, you're going to be doing a lot of walking. If you have mobility issues or just have a preference for a certain area in the resort, make sure you email the resort well ahead of time to state your preferences and requirements. Obviously, the further away your room is from the center of the resort, the quieter it will be. Each room has a sitting area and a sunken bedroom area with a king-size bed, a desk, a dresser, and a TV. We found the bed to be firm but decently comfortable. There's a phone on the desk and you can dial room to room by simply picking up the receiver and entering the room number that you want to call. The TV gets about 20 satellite channels, some in Spanish, some in English. Toronto's CTV and the USA's CNN are two of the channels available. In the sitting area, you'll have a bar fridge, along with some cups and mugs, a bottle of rum, a large bottle of pop, and 2 large bottles of water, all complimentary. The maids restock the bottles of water daily as needed. In the bedroom area, you'll have a spacious closet with slippers, 2 robes, an iron and ironing board, an extra blanket, and a safe. The safe is very easy to operate. You hold the door closed and enter a 4-digit number. You'll hear the safe lock. To open, simply enter the 4-digit code again and the door will unlock and open. Off of the bedroom area is the bathroom and a spacious balcony. Your balcony has 2 chairs and a small table, as well as a drying rack for towels and bathing suits. The bathroom is large, with plenty of mirrors and a huge tub. During my stay, the water pressure was great and there was no shortage of hot water. The maids come in once or twice a day and are great with restocking towels, toilet paper, and bottled water. You'll find good-sized bottles of shampoo and conditioner in the bathroom, but I recommend bringing your own soap or shower gel, as the resort soap is pretty small. Each room has a ceiling fan over the bed, as well as its own thermostat, and the air conditioning is good. Guests on the 3rd floor, though, may find the rooms to be a little warmer. Outlets. If you don't have the right outlet adapter, you'll be out of luck if you need to charge something or use medical equipment like a CPAP machine. You will see and read reviews from people who will say that you don't need an adapter. These reviewers are not from Canada. Those of us from Canada will need a power adapter. Our outlets here in Canada are 120 volt. The outlets at the resort are Type C, 220 volts. Note that the outlet is recessed into the wall, so make sure your power adapter will accommodate this. If you need to buy an adapter, you can find many affordable options on Amazon. If you forget to bring an adapter, it will be very hard to find one in Varadero. If you're really lucky, your butler may be able to track one down for you at the resort. All in all, the guest suites are fantastic. They're large and spacious, bright and clean. Let's face it, no one goes to Cuba for the food. Generally speaking, the food is mediocre at best. At the Royalton, though, I found that most of the food was really, really good, something I never thought I'd say about Cuban resort food. The main buffet restaurant is located on the top floor of the main building. You can use the stairs, or there's a small elevator that will get you up there. You can choose to sit outside or inside, and the staff are very attentive and helpful. You'll always find a great variety of food at any of the many stations in the restaurant. Pasta, seafood, vegetables, rice, salads, meats, a variety of breads and desserts are available at lunch and supper. At breakfast, in addition to the things you'd normally expect to find, like eggs, toast, and sausage, they also offer pancakes, crepes, cereal, and yogurt. The resort has 5 a la carte restaurants that are included and unlimited during your stay. An Italian restaurant, a Tex-Mex, an international, a Caribbean, and a seafood. At these restaurants, you order off a menu and only pay for any premium alcoholic drinks that you order. In addition to the a la cartes, there's also a 24-hour snack bar and an ice cream parlor in the main building. Also, a beach bar and grill. The beach bar and grill doesn't have a huge menu, but the food is great and you can't beat the location. They were also the only place we found that had bacon. During my stay, I tried the Italian a la carte and the Caribbean a la carte. I had read some terrible reviews about the Italian restaurant, so I was hesitant to try it, but I'm glad I did. It was really, really good. The Caribbean restaurant seems to be a big hit at the Royalton, with many reviewers raving about it. The atmosphere is beautiful, the service and the food are fantastic, and they even have a trio of musicians who play a variety of popular and traditional music. Reservations for the a la carte restaurants can and should be made if you're a Diamond Club guest. If you're not a Diamond Club guest, you can't reserve a table, so you'll want to make sure you get there right when the restaurants open between 6 and 6:30 if you want to have a good chance of being seated. Some of the restaurants have a formal dress code, but I found that most people were dressed pretty casually, so I don't think the dress code is really enforced. The beach. The beach at Royalton is second to none. 2 separate boardwalks lead you from the back of the resort to the beach. The beach is wide with sand that feels like powder under your feet. It's combed daily and always clean. There's no shortage of lounge chairs and shady spots, and staff regularly come around offering drinks from the beach bar. There are showers to rinse off at the end of the boardwalks, and entertainment staff that get games of beach volleyball and other activities going. Staff are also available on the beach to assist with using the available paddle boats, paddle boards, and catamarans. Be aware, though, that some of the water vessels come with an additional fee. The ocean water is a breathtaking turquoise and is shallow enough to wade out quite far. There is also a lifeguard on duty during the day. Moving on now to the many amenities at the Royalton. Let's start off talking about the resort's 3 pools. As I mentioned before, there are 2 decent-sized pools at either end of the resort. These pools are great for a quick dip or a quieter, more secluded place to relax and get some sun. The real gem, though, is the main pool, right in the center of the resort. This pool is massive, with bridges, waterfalls, and a swim-up bar. There are plenty of lounge chairs, but be sure to get there early if you're hoping for a spot in the shade. Right alongside the main pool, you'll also find a billiards table, a ping pong table, and a very convenient little hut where you can exchange your towels for clean ones. They even have an assortment of books you can borrow. There are 4 hot tubs at the resort, 2 at the main pool and 1 at each of the smaller pools. While I was there, none of the hot tubs had their jets on, and the water temperature was the same as in the regular pools. It was so hot while I was there, though, that I doubt anyone would have been lounging in the hot tubs anyway. Behind the main pool, there's a little mini putt course and an area for archery. In between the main pool and reception is where you'll find the main 24-hour bar. This is a beautifully laid out spot to grab some drinks and socialize. In the main building of the resort, you'll find a jazz bar and a nightclub. These were both closed when I was there due to the COVID pandemic. Over on the west side of the resort is where you'll find a full gym with plenty of exercise equipment, tennis courts, a squash court, and a wonderful spa that offers many services. The resort's fitness and entertainment staff also lead things like yoga, spin classes, and other fun activities around the main pool. Car and scooter rentals are available at the front of the resort in the main parking lot. Scooter rental is far more affordable, not to mention more fun, and I was quoted a rate of $35 for a 24-hour period, which is terrific. There's a great little gift shop located by the main building. It has a great selection of souvenirs at very reasonable prices. Across from the gift shop, you'll find a small medical clinic. During the COVID pandemic, the clinic is mainly serving as a testing facility. Also in the main building, you'll find a couple more gift shops, a variety store, and a cigar bar. Nightly entertainment at the Royalton is fantastic. Every night of the week, there's a different show, some on the main stage, some in the main pool. They have some very talented musicians, singers, and dancers, and everything is choreographed beautifully. Entertainment for the current day and following day is posted on a wall on the main floor of the main building, right by a currency exchange office and a Sunwing office, where you'll find a Sunwing rep during the day. The resort's Sunwing rep will be available to book any of their many excursions. If you've never visited Havana, I strongly recommend taking one of the day tours. The guides are informative as well as entertaining. The scenery along the way on the bus ride is breathtaking, as is the city of Havana itself. The only downside of the Havana tour is that you need to be prepared to deal with the many locals in the city that will follow you around asking for money. Every Friday at the resort is Cuban Day. Great food and entertainment can be found on the back lawn of the resort. Now, I've mentioned the Diamond Club a couple times. So let's talk a bit about what the Diamond Club is and whether or not it's worth the extra money. The Diamond Club is an upgrade option that guests have when they book a stay at the Royalton. It offers a few perks like a discount at the spa, a designated area on the beach, more attentive butler service, a private lounge, and the ability to reserve tables at the a la carte restaurants. You'll find many reviewers out there who think the Diamond Club is terrific, and many who feel it's not worth it at all. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's really worth it if you tend to eat dinner before 7 p.m. Those who like to dine later in the evening will definitely benefit from opting for the Diamond Club, though. Now, the Royalton is considered a 5-star resort, but keep in mind, Cuba is a developing country. Regardless of the resort, remember that a 5-star resort in Cuba will be different from a 5-star resort in, say, the French Riviera. So have realistic expectations and know that the resort staff are doing their best to provide a fantastic stay. A few other tips. Like all tropical countries, Cuba has its fair share of mosquitoes, sand fleas, and no-see-ums. During my stay, I experienced a few mosquito bites and quite a few no-see-um bites. So be sure to bring bug spray containing DEET and apply it liberally just before dusk. Make sure to take medicines for things like headaches and tummy troubles. Band-Aids, aloe vera gel, Benadryl, and anti-itch cream are also a good idea. You may feel like you're traveling with an entire pharmacy, but it's better to be safe than sorry in a country with limited access to that stuff. Let's talk a bit about money, currency, and tipping. There's quite a bit of debate regarding which currency to use while in Cuba. The Cuban convertible peso, or CUC, is no more. Currently, Cuba's currency is the Cuban peso, or CUP. You will find that most places in Cuba will gladly accept Canadian paper currency, though. At no point during my stay did I have to exchange Canadian for pesos. I paid for everything in Canadian, with one exception. The staff at the resort prefer to be tipped in Canadian or US currency. You'll find that you'll be doing a fair bit of tipping during your stay, and because you can't use Canadian coins, you'd have to tip a minimum of 5 Canadian dollars every time you tip. My suggestion is to bring some American $1 bills to use for tipping. If you happen to visit the Varadero Dolphinarium, which is only a few minutes away from the Royalton, be aware that you can't pay with anything other than a credit card. They only accept cash payments from Cuban residents. Since we're on the topic of venturing off the resort, let's talk a bit about how to get around in Varadero. If you're not renting a car or scooter, there are many ways to make your way around the Varadero Peninsula. At any given time, you can find at least a couple taxis sitting out front of the resort by reception. Some are traditional taxis, and others are marked or unmarked classic cars. During my stay, I used taxis a few times. The ride to downtown Varadero takes about 10 minutes and will cost you about 20 Canadian dollars each way. There's also a double-decker bus that runs the length of the peninsula. For $5, you get a ticket that allows you to ride all day. I took the bus once, and although the ride itself is nice, you can be standing around waiting for ages for the bus to come, as there are no set schedules. In downtown Varadero, you can also use horse-drawn carriages or cocoa taxis to get around. The horse-drawn carriage is a fun experience, but fairly pricey compared to the other modes of transportation. Cocoa taxis are super fun and cost even less than a traditional taxi. Regardless of how you get there, a trip into downtown Varadero is a must during your stay. There's so much to see and do there, with parks, markets, outdoor malls, lots of great restaurants and bars, and a terrific chocolate shop. Well, that brings us to the end of my Royalton Hicaycos tour. Remember, when you leave to return to Canada, be sure to give your maids a generous tip. I suggest tipping with cash, but it's also nice to leave some little gifts, things that may be hard or even impossible to find in Cuba, like Tylenol, razors, feminine hygiene products, or anything else you think could be useful. So have fun, stay safe, and be sure that your stay at Royalton Hicaycos will be nothing short of fantastic.